I did not become a psychologist because it's too many ethics. I don't want y'all to just sit on my couch and talk. I need to gamify and put everything into perspective for y'all. So that's why your girl is here being a coach. Okay. I'm gonna introduce you and then you further introduce yourself. TJ, your first time here and a first time panelist. Like I said, I just threw you on there. So welcome. TJ, tell the people about yourself. It could be, I know everybody, tell me about yourself. What happened? Whatever you like, introduce your name, but also your status, relationship status, that is.
TJ, single but dating. Been single for about 9 months now. So, yeah, just getting back out there.
Welcome to the club.
Hey, I love it here.
I love it here. Okay. And Shelly, for those that don't know you.
I am Shelly. I'm married, housewife, mother of 2. And I own Shelly's Copper Creations.
Fire.
Best peach copper in LA. I make it up. They told me that.
That's what they say. Well, thank you. All right, now, when I came up with this, I thought about it. Now, the ongoing discussions that we've been having have been broken homes, single homes, 2-parent homes. And the reason why I want to continue that discussion was because I have 2 panelists here that grew up in 2-parent homes, as myself did. But as we see, one is married and one is single. And no shade, because everything is lovely here. But I bring that up to a point because, again, like I say all the time, everybody think that having a 2-parent home was a cheat code, right? That's where we should be. And so here we are, married, housewife, and then a single guy dating out here, grew up in 2 loving-parent homes. I always want to start, because I always ask the first question of where did you see your first model of love? And I'll get to you guys out there. But, of course, it would be the 2-parent home. But can you guys tell me from your perspectives on how that has shaped your relationships today? Again, being married and being single but dating, especially at our big age right now. Because a lot of people will believe that our environment is the reason for our statuses, right? No, go ahead. So who wants to start?
Ladies first.
You're new to the panel. Go ahead, T. New to the panel.
Well, I mean, I'll talk about my parents were married for 50 years. So they,
Lovely people.
yeah, like
Lovely humans.
long time. Yeah, so they doing their thing. But like growing up with my family, like I knew my parents loved me, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't see like affection like most of my parents did when they came home. It was like they'd peck each other on the lips, you know what I'm saying? It was that type of thing. So fast forward to me dating, like, you know, we weren't really like the affectionate family. I know my parents loved it, they did a lot of sacrifice and all that shit like that. But I wasn't always an affectionate person, you know, in relationships. So that became an issue. So something I had to learn as I got older. You know what I'm saying? So like early in my relationships so you're not really affectionate. If we were to, you know, break up, you seem like you wouldn't care, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But it just wasn't what I was used to. So it's something I had to learn to develop over time.
Okay.
I got a question for you. You
Wait,
said
hold on, Brian. Are you an Aquarius?
Non-believer.
You said, oh.
Hey man, I hear a lot about this stuff.
so. My question for you, because you said you wasn't affectionate, and I could kind of relate to that. When you decided to be like, okay, I need to make a change and be more affectionate in your relationships, how did your spouse respond to you?
Have you made the change?
Oh, I made the change.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely did. Like so far removed from that, but I mean, it was they appreciated it more. You know, like they're like, okay, I see it. So it was kind of it wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of used to getting get used to it. You know, it wasn't normal. It's like, you know, this seems kind of fake. Like, you know,
Right.
I'm trying to put forth
That's why I asked you that, because I know for me, I kind of went through that same shit, like where I met somebody and I was still kind of filling them out before I went to that super duper affectionate phase, and then when I started doing it, she thought I was doing it for a reason and not just doing it because this is me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you that. Yeah.
No, definitely wouldn't do that.
Acceptance, that's the acceptance of it. And sometimes, and if any ladies would like to chime in on that, because I feel that it does seem as, and I've heard a lot of males be like, why are you doing it now? Why are you doing it now? Right? And it is sometimes a shock for us because we don't know. And I think to the point sometimes like we've asked for so long for you guys to change and things like that, and when it comes to sudden, it's just like, ooh, a shock. So yeah, ladies,
Well, with my, what I went through was I wasn't an affectionate person. I grew up in a family of love and we kissed each other and told each other we love each other. But I just wasn't affectionate. And my first relationship, which was long term. So then when I got into another relationship, I wasn't like that. So he complained about it. So he's like, dang, rub my head or rub on me. And he taught me how to be affectionate, right? And the crazy part about him teaching me on what affection felt like and him showing me what affection was, I fell in love with that. But then he withdrew and took it all away from me. And then he turned around and was like, oh, I didn't grow up like that. I'm not like that. And I'm like, what? You taught me how to be like that. So like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? When you teach somebody how to be exactly sometime, right? But he taught me how to be something that he couldn't even keep afloat and tried to say that that's how he, when I started to crave it more, I'm like, wait, you used to be like that. I'm this way because of you. So what happened? You know what I mean?
that took a turn real quick.
Right.
That's
Well,
crazy.
I'm gonna put a pin in that one because that went somewhere else. I'm gonna hold on to that
That shit
one.
crazy.
He didn't like you no more.
I didn't want to get into another. You got into that, but I was like, oh, yeah. See, should
You feel the joy for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and then you just,
Yeah, I
He
got
lost interest.
Yeah.
But it was like, the thing about it wasn't that he lost interest because we've been together for so long. So it would be in and out, in and out, in and out. It would be like push and pull. You know what I'm saying? And it was just so confusing. I was most confused. Yeah.
No, he was giving it to somebody else, is what she said.
No, I heard her.
Oh, no, I'm saying.
I definitely heard that.
Yeah. And then when she wasn't giving it, he was coming back to get it from her. That's what
that ended.
he could maintain it, just
Yeah.
your time was up.
Yeah, I know I should have found out.
He was teaching somebody else how to be affectionate.
Right.
Yeah. I was supply. I was like, the supply. Yeah.
Right.
It was so weird.
Shelly, back to you and how growing up in your two-parent home affects where you are today.
I don't know. Growing up in a two-parent home, I always knew I wanted to get married. I always knew I wanted to have kids. It was a traditional family, so I knew what my role would be. I knew what my husband's role would be. That shaped me in that regard, but as far as my relationship style and how I am in my relationship, I think that came down to my personality. I knew early on that my mom, great wife, but we would be different compromised. My mom didn't make no plates. She was just a very different. I remember asking her one day, and she was cooking in the kitchen and said, aren't you supposed to have on your apron and your heels? And she laughed so loud. Like, where do you get that from? But that's the kind of wife I always thought I wanted to be. Like a stepford wife.
Right.
And I'm almost there. I'm kind of like that. So, but I knew what I wanted because of what I saw in my family growing up, but I also knew how I would do mine differently. If that makes sense.
Good. Now, bringing it back to you guys out here, anybody want to share your first model of love? Where did you see or feel your first model of love? Because again, I grew up in a loving two-parent home as well. But I'm like, Shelly, I didn't really look at my mom and my dad. Well, yeah, I didn't look at my mom and my dad and was like, oh, this is why I want to be a wife. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I really mom as a wife. If that makes sense. Not like that, but my mom was always my mom and my dad was always my dad. I never saw them as husband and wife. We was always just one family. So when I thought about what a wife was or I probably just thought TV. Like, and nothing against my mom, but that's just because they were always highlighted as wives on TV, right? But for me in my house, she was highlighted as my mom. And then, I mean, my dad would call her wife. Yeah, I saw that, but it was never the, like, cooking and the cleaning, like, oh my God, I want to be the wife my mom is, or whatever. Like, no, I just knew that I wanted a family, or I just knew that I wanted that unity, I guess, so to speak, right? And so for me, that was the first model of love, because I say I'm a daddy's girl, but the more that I think about it, my dad was not affectionate. Like, my dad, I could not tell, my dad wasn't the, oh my God, I love you and all that. My dad, we go to bingo all the time, right, for years in Vegas. And we were sitting at the bingo table, and one day my dad was just like, man, I love y'all. Me and my brother laughed so hard, because he was like, what? But daddy's girl, I mean, to the depth of it. And so it's really about how you feel, the affection, what's going on with the unity. So I always knew that I wanted that unity, that family unit right there. And so for me, with my daughter's father, I wasn't feeling it, which is why I didn't have it, because that's not what I saw. Now, I didn't see my mom as a wife and my dad as a husband, but I knew that this wasn't what I wanted and I wasn't feeling it there, so I removed myself from there. So going to you guys, first model of love, anyone want to share?
My grandmother.
Okay.
That was my grandmother. My parents were married, they were together and stuff, but they ended up getting divorced. But it was my grandmother where I felt, you know, that was my first side of love, because she took in everyone. She loved all of us, no matter how good or how bad or whoever, you know, it was so unconditional. And I feel like, you know, it's almost the grandparents for me. Oh yeah, for you too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was sweet. It's a sweet tenderness. It is. It's so tender. That's the word for it. You know, it's different. It's
My parents was there, but I remember it's my grandmother more than anything.
I wish I had these stories. My granny and my grandpas, and I have a lot of them. Let's start there. I have a lot of grandparents. I have sets everywhere in different states, because my biological grandparents were whores at 16 and 15. And so I have aunties and uncles in different states, and we're all close in age, but we're all very close. Like, I'm close, my brother is closer to the grandparents that lives in Kansas City, who are not our biological, but because my grandparents, it's a whole story. So I say that to say, I didn't have grandparents come sit on my bosom and let me talk. My granny told me, don't you have a spare tire in your car? I'm like, yeah, granny, why? She's like, man, why you ain't got no spare niggas? Oh, that's granny. That's my granny.
Oh, I mean, shit. My
That's my
grandmother.
granny.
Yeah. My granny was, hey, that's the love, though. That's the way of love. They keeping it real with you.
But no. I was a granny's girl, though, but I'm just saying that's not where I got my first model of love. Because granny had great. Let me tell y'all, I love my granny, but granny.
I don't know.
So I was about to say, granny, she's been married a few times, not just a couple, and she's messed with a few married men. She has kids by married men, but I was a granny's girl. That had nothing to do with my granny love. That was way before me in the 50s, 60s. But I say that to say the lessons were not going to take me very far in relationships.
If you want a meeting.
Yeah, and all of them dead.
Oh.
I'm just I love all my grandpas. That's not what this is about, though.
So they not all dead, though, right?
Huh?
They not all dead, though. That was a joke.
No. Even her side kids are dead, and the ones that, and I grew up knowing all of them. Y'all. Listen, we're not getting this.
Wait,
push so hard though for this and creating these spaces is so that people can create the tools and stop having these type of relationships. And I don't want to overuse the word toxic because that's new, but it is what it is now if we had to identify it. And it comes from your environment, growing up. Like I say this all the time for my oldies, and for my OGs, that I tell my dad all the time, if you would have left me to be raised by my mom and my grandmom as a single, I would be batshit crazy. You know, because I recognize that they did what they did. Like I said, it was a loving two-parent home. But what I'm saying is you got to take different personalities and really understand them and know that they attribute to your environment and how you grow up and how you function with other people. So again, grandparents were great. My granddaddy, he was a pimp. He still is. I believe he still is, child. My granddaddy, he's been in jail my whole life, my mama whole life. He just got out. My mama used to say being out is a vacation for him because he was just in. So I bet he's doing good now. Granddaddy's doing good. Grandpa, he done. Yes, he did. He got his own apartment. He got his new car and all that. But again, them lessons from if my brother would have took them, now he laughed at those lessons, but again, it was a different time, different generation.
Yeah, that was a whole different.
Goes to the point to just if you learn from that instead of adapting to it, right? Learning from it, understanding what you don't want to see anymore, instead of taking it on. And because you hear so many people like that's just how I was raised, that's how I am, or they just adore their parents' toxic behavior, or they welcome it, or they go, and it's just like, and I have a 21-year-old daughter, and she is a mirror of me, and I am proud. Like, I'll be like, oh, her birthday, I celebrate too, because, like, I did this.
Yes.
Okay? I celebrate on her birthday too. But I always tell people, like, I love the ROI, the return of my investment with my daughter, because I see that I put in, and I see that it was her, watching me, and the example that I was given. And I tell her all the time, I'm not perfect. Whatever you heard me do in high school, middle school, I probably did that shit. But now and after I had her, I've tried to never have a reason to have a video out there, a story out there, and nothing that she has to question or, even have to, the whole integrity of it. Again, still not perfect, but try to walk that, especially if you have the children. Because we're not going to talk about Diddy. But I was worried about them girls. I ain't worried about them boys. I believe them boys got the invoice to the baby oil. They the ones that ran that invoice through. Okay? But them girls, and then I saw they tried to say, oh, they're with a family friend that is trying to shield them from the sun. You ain't shielding them girls from
I can just
social
imagine
media.
their world is crashing down.
Crashing.
Your dad just is like everything to you.
Everything.
And then
That's
to
all they
know
have
he's a
left.
monster,
Right.
and then he potentially could have killed your mom. Like all these things, it's like
It's like shit is fault.
Yeah, so that's my point.
And you
But
got two
Yeah, that's
consequences.
good.
All
And
these
to
years
see
and
it from
that
their
shit caught up
If
with
he,
you.
Yes,
if
from
he,
their
you can't.
like
You could feel sorry for the
they're in high
kids,
school or
but that was his doing.
yeah, but that was my point. That's
we're
why
sorry for the kids though, because
Yeah,
they
But,
didn't do
but
it.
that was his doing. So they probably knew.
But imagine
Right.
their future.
Or
Exactly.
Yeah.
He should have thought about that.
Their
future, right?
But
He should have thought about that during what he was
They
doing.
have
if they wanted to be
control.
models, they're not gonna be.
They can't. What
They
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 gonna
gonna have
do?
to change their name and get no job or something.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Right. But
We going back to kids.
But still, that's your dad going to jail. Like,
But then what could they have done? That's all I'm
They
saying.
can't do
As
shit.
children, I know. So that's all me and Shelly is saying is that their world is crashing down, and you do
But was
and they-
he really their everything though? Was he really their
he's
everything?
their only parent.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
But
everything.
he
But
said
look,
only parent, but what
A
he
lot of us
asking
come from
about.
only parent
It doesn't
situations.
matter. That's their only dad.
It's a lot of people
but
that come from
it's
only
all of
parent
this is
situations.
still coming down on them, though.
That's
Just the
that's
feelings of
weird
like
though.
knowing,
That's
like
weird.
trying to be in high school.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it the media that's coming down on them, or is it everybody
No,
coming
yeah,
down on
right.
them?
Yeah, you know,
You
once
still have to
the
understand
kids
functioning though.
Why?
Yeah.
Now
Because he was providing a life. He was providing a life.
Exactly, that's all
You
you
guys are
do.
missing it.
Yes,
I'm not missing it.
the children.
I'm not missing it.
It's their dad.
Because he provided a
Regardless of
wealthy
if he was
life.
a good dad or a bad dad, he was their dad. And now their whole
I would be
trajectory of their life is
devastated
gonna
if the
change
scandal
because
came
of
out
what's
from my
happening.
dad.
You gotta go, you're daddy's girl.
Yeah.
You interact with your dad way
But
more, a whole lot.
If you knew your dad was doing shit like that and he went to jail, what would you say?
I
Even
still
with you being a
love
daddy's
my
girl.
dad.
Even with you being a daddy's girl, he went to jail for doing the shit
We
he
have
doing.
to talk about that.
Exactly what I'm saying.
It's
That's
still
what I'm
it's
saying.
still gonna be like free my dad.
I was
Because I need him here for
definitely
me.
to free my daddy.
Yeah.
But again, take the age into consideration as well. That's
Yeah.
why I
How old are
know.
they?
Are they 18
Yeah.
yet? I don't think they're 18 yet.
No, I don't think so.
I don't
They're
think
still in
so.
high school.
Yeah.
These is what kids he had by Cassie.
No, these.
Yeah, like to see.
Can't afford it.
Alright, we ain't gonna talk about this no more. Alright, we ain't talking about
I don't follow him like that.
I know,
He
that's
baby
what we
mamas
gotta
and
stop
shit. I really don't get it.
But the point is that bringing it back is the importance of the environment, the importance of your first model of love. Now, yes, of course, I'm sure that the girls have seen it. You can only shield your children from so much. But again, it's the human side of it. It's the emotional
Yes,
side. And
yeah.
although they might not have seen it, they were not involved. That's a different thing. That's why the boys say that they were not involved. And so
Yeah.
words
But
of
that's-
expression.
That's the media.
I think a lot of people won't understand.
I don't think the girls
Because,
I don't think they
It's
and
the
then not to
media.
be rude.
Like, I
don't
felt
know
don't
anything about
have
it.
like
Probably
a
didn't.
dad.
The girls, the boys know for sure, but the girls,
Yeah.
yeah.
Men
Yes.
hide that
Even if
kind of
you're
shit
a
from
man
their
versus-
daughters.
Right.
They're not trying to
And
let
they
them
don't
see
have a
that.
mom.
Mhm. Because and they don't have a mom. So at
He's
first they're
potentially-
only their mom was everything to
Yeah.
them
Mom was
until
fine,
he
you know.
potentially took that away from it.
But guess what? The kids don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look, that's the flip side right there.
Allegedly, we
But
don't
that's the
know.
flip side, because I'm sure, even if them are Kim Porter's daughters, I'm sure that them kids have heard the stories.
Yeah.
Like you whooping my dad, whooping my mama ass and shit, so they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
shit.
it's still their dad.
He provided a
They're
life.
raising
He
parents.
provided a comfortable life.
So, okay, you have twin daughters. How old are your twin daughters?
My daughter's just 21.
21 years old. Alright, so you did some stuff.
They know about the shit I did. I never hid it from them.
But I'm talking about
they
you
never,
did some
they never,
stuff.
they
I'm
never,
talking
no,
about
I'm
we
saying,
talking you was caught with the baby oil. You
my
did some
daughters,
stuff.
yeah, my daughters have
Yeah,
never,
there you
the
go.
only thing my daughters never said, never seen me mistreat a woman.
Hear me out. Let me ask you something. If you were caught, and your daughters came to you, they were, devastated. How do you expect them to feel? What do you, an apology style would be knowing about
Okay,
the scandals?
so if we could take the gay shit out, because
Okay,
I never doing no gay shit,
I'm
right?
talking about the level of it, because I ain't talking about, oh, daddy just lied to me. I'm talking,
Like if I got busted for being a freak,
Yeah.
yeah.
shit, nigga,
Is that
I'm
what
a freak.
she is?
Like,
No, he didn't want to go with the gay. Okay, no. No,
no,
you got busted on some.
It's a lot of things.
It doesn't.
This
It's
is
just
another
insurance.
shit, so you gotta give me
What?
this. You gotta take the gay shit out. That's what I said. You take the gay shit out.
Right. I mean,
Okay, so
whatever it is.
let's flip it like this. Like you take the male gay shit out,
Okay.
having sex with the men, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say I was doing lifestyle parties. right?
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. And I gotta get in trouble for doing it like that.
See, I can't. I'm thinking extreme. You
Yeah.
not, because me and Shelly are trying. Right, Shelly and I are trying to bring it
I don't
home.
think they knew any of that shit.
Right, he did other shit. They went after him off other shit. It was
It's
a
not
lot
about
of other
Diddy.
shit.
It's not about Diddy. I'm trying to get you to understand the humiliation that these girls are feeling in the relationship. That, because we get it. It's Diddy did it to his daughters. We
Okay,
understand.
well I'm gonna give you a situation that I was in.
Okay.
That would have took me from my daughter.
Okay.
So when I was 20,
Mhm.
I beat the shit out of somebody.
Okay.
Real bad,
Mhm.
right? and I was looking at 5 years of jail time. This was right before my daughter was about to turn 2. And I was looking at 5 years of jail time, probably would have been more. But it was looking like 5 years for sure off top. Now, that made me change my approach to how I handle people because I didn't want to not be in their life.
So what I'm trying
Because
to
of my actions, right?
So,
So I didn't want to not be there for
because
them
of
when I
how
knew.
you thought that they
No,
would feel.
It
No,
was
I'm
be-
asking you.
No, it was because I knew
Uh-huh.
that I was all they had.
Okay.
They mom left when they was 3 months old. So
Okay.
I knew that I was all they had. And for me to not be there for 5, 7 years because I done beat the shit out of somebody, that would have been detrimental to them.
Okay, but we'll flip it.
Right.
See
Say,
what
how
I'm
would
saying?
your
So
daughter-
that made me change my behavior.
How would your daughters feel? How do you think your daughters would feel if you did go to jail? That's what we're trying to get at.
Well, knowing the kind of grandmother they had, I don't think they would have felt any way towards me because
That's tiptoeing around the question.
no, it's not. It's not tiptoeing
How-
because I know.
How do you think your
Not
daughters
with
would
nothing to do
feel?
with the grandmother.
I
How do you
couldn't.
think
I,
they would
honestly,
feel?
if I would have been 7 years of their life, honestly, I don't know.
Right.
You know they would
Right?
probably be
But
sad.
how much of his
Their
life?
dad left.
How much of his life has he missed with his daughters?
If
That's
that's neither here nor there.
That's by choice.
No, and I just told you honestly. If I wouldn't
Their
have
dad
been
goes
there,
to jail.
if I wouldn't have been there in
They
the first
might
7
be
years of their
sad.
life, I don't know how they would be.
Sad.
I don't.
Because their dad's not there.
Why wouldn't you know how they would feel?
They will feel
If you have a
sad.
Because I'm not them.
Right.
From 3
On a basic
percent,
level, they may
from
be
3,
sad.
from 1 years
And that's
old,
all we're saying about
from
the
1
daughter.
years old to 8,
They
right?
be sad.
That would have been my jail time. From 1 years old to 8, I would have never known how they would feel because I'm not them.
Oh, come
Right.
on, come on. You can
Okay.
imagine.
Right.
They would be sad.
Right.
That they would
Yes.
be
Yes.
sad.
No. Even in the movies,
Okay,
they're
so-
like, Daddy. Daddy.
I don't know how they would have
Okay,
felt.
well, let's move on.
And the reason why I'm saying that.
All right, hold on.
The reason-
Because I don't want this to
No, it's good. Like, the reason I'm saying that is because.
That might be sad.
Okay, so good. The reason why I'm saying I don't know how they would have felt because they were so young.
Right, which is why I didn't
Which
even.
is why I could have made up for that.
So, which is why I didn't even want to go into because you said they were 2, but we're
Right,
talking
yeah.
like it's different emotions. So we gonna go ahead. Tiffany has something
I
to
was
say.
saying, like, what you were saying, the girl's gonna be sad. Like, my dad was in and out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And when I turned 16, this is his second time in jail. I wrote him a letter and I told him, I said, the next time you go to jail, I'm not gonna see you again because that'll be your last. And I was sad because I was a daddy's girl. So my dad wasn't around and I wanted him to be around because I didn't have that love that I
See,
needed
that's
from
different.
that man. So you were right.
Yeah. And so tying it back into my grandfather and my mom, because I had a lot of grandfathers, but her biological, they were twins. My uncle passed away, my mom's twin. But anyway, they had him at 15 and 16 years old. But he was in and out of jail. And one of my mom's memories of her dad is he robbed banks. My dad was a professional bank robber, y'all. It was crazy, my stories I hear. But he went to rob a bank, picked her up from school, went to home, she fell asleep, took a nap, she woke up to guns and the feds, everybody there, because he was hiding in the closet or whatever. So she has these memories of him but that's why she's still hurt at 62 years old, or she's not 62, she's 60, but she's just gotten over it within the past couple of years because missing her dad. And yes, I don't think that my grandfather, because yes, it's the media, a lot of people are saying, did he know he was doing to his kids? Did he know what he was doing to these kids? But one thing about parents, or some parents, and I'm not saying all, but some parents, unfortunately, they still create this individuality when they have these children. And when it comes to the celebrities, yes, the media pumps it up, but yes, the money, the resources, the nannies and all that. So I get your point, Duran. It's like we don't know if Diddy was in there, but we know that he was there some type of way. He was an influence. He took picture. He provided. So although he wasn't a consistent, he was a celebrity. He couldn't be. A lawyer can't be. There's different levels to it, but that doesn't discount the relationship know, with Nick Cannon and his 12. The oldest one probably adores Nick. Like, it's probably the best, but it's 12 of them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And so all we're saying is that that relationship between the father and the daughter, regardless of what it is, if you put yourself in a situation and you're absent, it's gonna affect the father's lives. The daughter's life, which is why so many people are saying people have daddy issues. Girls have daddy issues. Girls have daddy issues.
But is it always the daddy's fault that these women are having daddy issues?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of women that do shit to keep the daddy away from the kids.
Men got daddy issues too. Men they
Yeah,
got
right. Everybody has
So can I answer your question, right? So my first love was my mom.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that, because if we want to talk about dad, right? Like, my dad was in my life all the way until I was 18, right? I chose to walk away from his bullshit at 18, and I kept a distance between me and my dad. Because my dad was around, but he was not the father that I needed. You see what I'm saying? My mom was my mama and my daddy. But she was my first love because I watched her constantly care for a man that never wanted to accept. And that took a different type of love, to care for a motherfucker that just really ain't trying to do shit. Now, my grandparents molded how I deal with my relationship because my grandfather was a jokester, my grandmother was a jokester. They used to have their little feuds, but they play around all their bullshit. So, it's like, oh yeah, he did this, but I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna crack a little joke, or I'm gonna pop you on the ass. They did that shit in front of the grandkids, so I seen it.
Okay.
So I kind of tried to be like that in my relationships. Like, he was very apologetic, but they both stood on what they said. Like, if my grandma be like, get your ass out of here, don't fucking talk to me tonight, he had a whole other room in the back of the house that he knew to go to.
I have a question, and
So-
then I'll get off you, and then we're gonna go off. But my curiosity always piques. You don't know how I do this. And it might be a funny question because you're a father, but has your daughters had relationships that you know of?
Yeah.
And
And one of them, her and her boyfriend trying to get a place. He cool guy. I told him my stance on this is how I need you to handle my daughter.
okay.
If you handle her anyway outside of that, I'm gonna lose all respect for you. They just had an argument. They came to me to talk, and I helped them through that.
Okay.
Now, my other daughter, she dealing with some punk ass dude.
Okay.
And when I first found out about this nigga, I told her, leave this nigga alone. Cause this the type of nigga that's gonna have me go to the storage, pull out the briefcase, and I'm gonna be on the hunt. Leave this nigga alone. And she kept fucking with him after I told her. And now her feelings is hurt. So for the past 8 months, I've been trying to mend a broken heart that I tried to prevent her from having. But I often find out that with these younger girls and sometimes women, you guys don't listen. You guys don't listen.
Yes.
Even when it's the mass majority of people are telling you, walk away, leave this motherfucker alone. Sometimes y'all will stay regardless. Instead of just being like, for a change, let me listen and just fucking walk away.
Okay, right.
Sometimes
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
some
hear
women
you.
listen and some women have to.
That's what I said.
Well, yes.
That's why I said
Some
some.
people have to just.
And it's the same shit for guys too.
Twins, but they
It's
just.
the same shit for guys too, and the reason why I'm saying that, because had I listened to my mom and stopped fucking with my daughter's mom before she got pregnant,
Okay.
then I probably wouldn't have had a baby mama that would have walked out on her kids. Because my
Well,
mom told me to leave that motherfucker alone, and I didn't listen.
I hear you. All right. So
So yeah.
where I'm gonna go with this is that. All right. So I always say I only got 2 regrets in life, just 2, and it's not going to an HBCU and missing the Bad Boy reunion. I'll never get that back. Those are my life. And the reason why I always said that, right, and I'm like, it never happened. It never happened again. I was so sad. Only regrets in life. But I say that because if I can't think of anything that I wish I didn't go through, that I would not have made me the person. And I know it's cliche, right? Oh, I had to go through to make me a person.
But it's real.
But even in experience, because even in, me and Shelly talk about this at all of them, and Kai and teach for the newbies. But even with Shelly telling me that I didn't even like my daughter's father, that I didn't even want to marry him, she told me all this other kind of stuff. It took me 8 months to leave. And Shelly was just dead, like, you don't even like him. Like, you know you don't want to be with him, you don't want to marry him. I'm like, but I feel like had I had, again, listened to me, like in that first month, I still wouldn't have went through or gotten the strength, or even, let me take it, because this just hit me too, like a moment, or even really understood myself the reasons why I was leaving. So think about it that way when you're always like, oh, you could have listened to me, or you should have listened to me and you had to. If people listen to other people immediately, it would be more because of that person told me to. Or like, I was listening to my homegirl and she said this, and this is why. But never really understanding yourself on why you're leaving. So building that 8 months up, or however long it was for Shelly telling me, yeah, I heard her, and sometimes I was like, oh my God, or whatever the case may be. But hearing the recurring things, and honestly, probably the way Shelly was bringing it, as opposed to, well, nobody else was telling me. I can't even say as opposed to nobody else, because it was just Shelly telling me. But the build-up, having her have me have the light bulb moments on what she was saying, instead of it being like, you know what, Shelly told me that I don't even like you, so this is why I'm leaving, you know what I'm saying? It had to be like, you know what, I don't. Shelly was right. I don't like you.
But
It's
when she,
happen for you though.
Yes, right. But you
to
do
go through it.
need those people to bring it to your,
Of course.
to hide. Because I remember even in the whole movie, Tyler Perry movie, Divorce in the Black. It was the thing, if you've seen it, it was the thing about the best friend writing down the letter of every bad thing that the husband had did to her. And at first, a lot of people was like, oh my God, she keeping tabs.
Make it good? Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good movie.
But then again, depending on how it's presented and how it's said, and if it's giving you that highlight moment, because Shelly had no reason to want my relationship to fail. That's the other thing that you have to realize too from the people that are telling you, the intentions. Shelly, it wasn't like she didn't like him. She didn't even care. She didn't even know. Like, she didn't care. She was like, it was like, so.
Just the stories that she's heard.
And sure, just knowing me
Yeah.
and things like that, knowing. So those are the type of things that you also have to look at when you're like, I'm telling them, like, leave this person alone. You shouldn't want to be with this person.
Oh man.
Instead of trying to
trusted source.
turn it and
It's
explain it.
a difference when it's a trusted source versus the masses just saying,
All right,
earlier,
but-
that nigga alone.
Hold on, because I'm gonna let you speak. But the thing is that everybody believes that somebody is trusted.
Yeah.
Because Shelly and I were talking earlier, because we had a group of friends, and like I said, Shelly was the only one. But I would have thought that this person and the other person were my trusted besties that would have told me. And then my best friend was helping me plan the whole wedding the whole time. I mean, we was out, okay? We was planning the wedding. Shelly was sitting up there like, I'm not picking out no outfit because I know it's not happening. So. But, so that's what I'm saying, Duran. I hear you and I feel you, but people need discernment on who trusted people are. And that's why people run to their peers, run to their sisters, run to your homegirls, and then so many men have a problem with females, friends or something like that. It's because they're always saying this and they're not sound. But there are some that have a good group of friends. So it's the discernment on that one.
Always run into the females that have a problem with their friend liking me, because I'll be cool. They be like, you two this around my friends. Like, damn, how you want me to be?
Who you
You know what I'm saying?
Kai.
You know what? That's why, like, with that's why I love girl talk, or even just random talks, like if you go out and meet some people, whatever. I'm so open. Everyone should stink at the end of the day. let me know what you think, because I'm thinking something else. You know, and although you're telling me this, I might agree with you, but I'm still gonna kind of go through it, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep you in the pocket, and you know, and then when it's all said and final, I'm gonna make my decision. And 9 times out of 10, the decision was based off of what they already done told me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really good to have those type of talks, you know? That's why I keep shit private. I'm like, shit, hell yeah.
As long as you have as long as you know that their good judgment is going to be good judgment.
Good job, and that too, yeah. So that plays a big part of it too. You know what I mean?
I wanna get.
We're having a great discussion with Sagittarius.
Wait, what are you guys talking
Because
about?
I realized that Sade didn't say, I'm a Sagittarius too. Full of Sagittarius. Because yes, T is a Sagittarius.
Mama, my uncles.
No, he's a Libra.
No, his sister.
My
So his sister, his mom is a
Oh,
Sagittarius.
you already know the fire
I
sign.
know how you operate, yeah.
But
So
see,
I was saying what we were talking about. Huh?
I said to him, I said, oh, she's cute.
Yeah,
I was like, you a Libra? She was like, Sagittarius, that could work.
nah, it's
Talking to him other That's what I was saying. Like, she cute. What you think?
My son
It
is
don't work because
When
You
is
have
your
you had a
birthday?
Libra day?
Huh?
I was asking her has she had a Libra.
yeah, it don't work.
Where's Libra?
That's
Right now, September,
It don't work because of the Libras have a certain kind of emotional level that you have to tap into it.
They're bad.
And if you know, it's not really about balance because you gotta balance out a Libra. No, I'm serious. I can't speak for him because he's a man, but I dated a woman, right? And in the beginning, I had a balance with her, right? But then that balance started to shift, and the more it shifted, the more emotional shit that I found out about her, and I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa,
That's
bro.
all, like men and women, like the signs is
It's
different.
different. That's what I'm saying. I can't speak for him.
And
It's like the men Sagittarius and the women Sagittarius are different. Yeah, I can't speak for him.
But
Yeah.
Capricorns and Sagittarius.
Oh, like a motherfucker.
No, we get along like not dating.
Yeah,
Not
we get
dating.
people.
Like in a partnership, like
In the spectrum.
business, like in the
Yeah.
space. Capricorns and Sagittarius work, but dating, I don't
Because
know.
we the same.
Wait, Capricorn and Sagittarius don't work?
Nah, not dating. We the same.
Yeah.
We the same.
And so it has to just be partner in business. So my daughter is a Sagittarius. My cousin is a Sagittarius, but her daughter is a Capricorn. And then it just has to. They say Capricorns though Tauruses. Gone.
No, the only way that'll work is that with the Capricorn and the Sag is that because we the same, we gotta identify it early, and then one person gotta be able to say, look, man, I know we both like this. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna be your passenger for a couple of days, and then we gotta flip roles, and then you be my passenger. Because it's just the strong-headedness. And sometimes when you got two strong-headed people and you can identify that, then somebody got to be like, look, all right, I'm going to just, I'm going to let you take the wheel. And it's all, that's what it's about. It's like, I'm going to let you take the wheel. Like, I see you on it today, cool. I'm going to be your journeyman today. I'm going to be your ace in the hole. And it's just about identifying certain shit early.
You feel like you want to be one of those strong wheels, Capricorn?
Absolutely.
She is. She is.
I
Has
am.
that been a challenge for you in relationships?
Only when I don't get my way.
Right. Okay, so.
That's tough.
And when I feel like you're not going to give it to me. Like if I feel I'm gonna get my way eventually, I'm cool. But like if I feel you as strong-willed as I am, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I said. Somebody got to get, at some
You
point,
want
somebody got to get
as you want to lead the relationship?
No. I'm talking about the only times that I'm like a strong-willed person is when I don't get my way. And I'm only that way because I believe that what I'm asking for, I can deliver, and I believe that I deserve everything. that's when I'm strong-willed. But absolutely not leading. I believe that I am very. I don't like the word submissive because of the negative connotation, but it is a real word, right?
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing, but the negative connotation that I try to, until we get
They
an
make it
understanding.
sound like it's
Y'all
a
know.
weak thing.
Exactly.
And it's not.
But I'm a helpmate. Like I am very submissive. I love to fix a plate. I love to cater and do all of that. Like I am gonna give you everything that you need and that you can't, like, I'm gonna supplement, right? So if I'm asking for something,
I expect it. I agree with you on that.
Right.
because I feel
I
like
agree
I
with you
have
on
a
that.
very strong case. I will give you a thesaurus. I will give you a thesis. Like, you know, every other word. Like, whatever you need on why I feel strongly about
And I
this.
believe you're like that, but I also believe you do a lot of this.
I do.
And that's part of the issue.
I do, but let me tell you, I do a lot of this because I like to explain myself a lot.
Long-winded.
Yes, I am, because
You want to be understood.
I want to be understood.
Yeah.
That is what I want to be understood.
Yeah,
And if I feel that you're not understanding me, then I'm going to reiterate it
Yep.
5, 10 times until I feel like you understood. But then I will get to a point that if I feel like you're just not understanding, it's a personality clash.
And talk
There you
about
go.
And there's nothing else to talk about. But I do talk a lot.
it. Yeah.
I do. I've heard
I'm the
yo
same
mouth, you mouth. If I had $1 for every time I heard yo mouth,
Oh,
I'd
I'm
be
rich.
rich.
But see,
Yo
when
mouth.
But
So-
is that character, or is that something that you can change?
so,
I can definitely change.
And Tony,
But it
I
takes the
can't
right
tone it
man.
down.
So-
Because I love my friend. I love my friend.
No,
I really
look.
want her to be.
The thing about it is that it takes the right type of man that
I
can change
do.
that.
Okay, so right. Here's the thing. Well, okay. I hear that. She said it takes the right man, right? I'm a
You can practice
reactor.
with every man.
Don't hear
No, not every man.
Being quiet.
Not every man can bring that out of
Hey,
you.
so look.
No,
Right.
it's not a bring it. You gotta be that. You
So-
gotta do that.
Right. So I think that I don't want to be that to every man.
Then how you gonna know how to be it with the right man if you ain't?
Because the right man's gonna bring it out of me. So to her point and what
See,
she
I had
said
that
is
question
that
for
you
you.
have to be the right man.
Yeah.
So
I
I
can find you like.
By being quiet.
no. So I'm only here
That
when
was
it's a reaction. I'm not here when I wake up in the morning. I'm here when it's a reaction.
Why you reacting to everything?
So-
We talked about this.
We did, so I'm explaining, but I'm going back to her point of what it's saying that if there's a certain guy that doesn't make me react, then he don't get the. I can line them up. It's funny. I talked to
Every
a
man
guy
that's
that's
a leader is gonna make you react.
Yep.
You gotta learn
Yeah.
how to control your emotions.
Yeah.
Men lead and
But it's about the
they can't be
way.
annoying as well.
Yeah.
But see, for me being strong-willed, then the only reason why I'm
So,
reacting is because I'm feeling that he's not leading. Because I don't have to react to the man
But
that's leading.
but
this
that's
is
why
why you
that's
have
why
to
I made
react.
but that's why I made the statement I made to where, you know, when you guys are both, can I say, like, we both these type of people, somebody gotta be able to say, look, I'm gonna dumb my shit down just a little bit.
Somebody got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody gotta say, I'm gonna dumb it down just a little bit. Because I fuck with you, right? And I understand that if I'm like this with you all the time, that shit is gonna be chaos.
I'ma only dumb it down if you level it up.
But
I'm not just gonna dumb it down
That's
because
the
we're in
issue.
confrontation.
You're only gonna attract the guy who can lead you that
Exactly.
way if you're already
that way,
very guilty.
you gotta show up as a
Yes.
you gotta show up
It's
as
a
a
very
as a
mindful.
person.
I said
And a man gonna love it, or a man not gonna love it. And it is what's
He
going
not
on,
gonna
you know?
love it.
But why not?
You trying to be a wife. So when you trying to be a wife, you gotta show up as a wife. You can't show up.
No, okay, wait, I feel that, but hold on. Here's my challenge.
All wives are quiet and cutesy and demure. I'm confused.
Here's
my challenge to wax.
Let me say this part, because I feel that there are, it's about personality and what your intentions are and how you move, right? And why you move. But wait, hold on. So my thing is that the way I would challenge that theory is that it's not me picking the person, right? Like, just because I show up as my authentic self doesn't mean that I'm attracting, like, the person that is coming to me is going to be the person that I attract. Because at this point, everybody's coming. It's not that who I'm attracting, like everybody's black, right? It's who you keep and who you're entertaining. So that's why I say I'll keep entertaining or whoever it is until the personality clash, until I find that I'm reacting. Because I have been in a space where I dated a guy where there was no reactions, there was no mouth. You know, you would ask him today and he'd be like, I never saw you like that. But then line him up with somebody else, they'd be like, ooh, can you, how do you deal with her? And it'd be like, what? She was amazing, right? So it's about the other person as well. I can show up cutesy, wife, wannabe in whatever space I'm in, and that doesn't mean that the person is going to align with me just because that was the space that I was in.
But it doesn't mean you leave that space either.
No!
That person.
And if that person makes me leave that space, I leave that space.
You just move on to the person and show them, you know.
Exactly. Until that person
You know what I'm saying? Like,
is
I got a
here.
question for you. So,
Last one before, because I'm
yeah,
not
no,
just
so have you
Conversation, though, it is.
have you ever been the reason for a personality clash?
Absolutely.
And then, so hold on, okay, so with you being a reason, you still bail out?
Yes.
Oh, that's a lack of
No,
accountability.
no.
If you the reason for a personality clash,
That is, and I bail out, that is a major growth right there. Because here's the thing, if I know that I'm bad for you,
but
and I know that it's not working out, I'm stressing you out, my mouth is too much for you, I'm gonna go
But
ahead
has
and
the guy
leave.
said it? Has the guy said you stressing me out?
Yes.
Has he said your mouth is
I've
too
been
much?
caught it.
Okay, so in that
I've
case,
been
cool,
caught.
that's different. But I'm just saying,
Yes.
if you have been a problem,
Okay.
and then that was never said, that your mouth is this, and your attitude is this,
Mm-hmm.
do you fix it?
I don't know the problem.
How would you fix it? You
But
didn't
even if he tell you that this is like, if he like, look, I like you for who you are. I don't care that you talk a little shit, right? But sometimes pick and choose your back, right? And he tell you like that. Do you still see that as a personality clash and you gonna bail out?
I know, I accept that. I do.
Well,
Because
the
sometimes I do know that. Can you have to say that?
Because that's what I'm trying to get some make some sense out of this shit, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of the times, like you hear women say, "Well, I'm gonna bail out because it was a personality clash." But what if you was the fucking problem?
Yeah. No, agree. But again, sometimes though, and I like to bring it back to the panel, and because this is what I hear, sometimes, and this is what I've heard that a lot of women say they have an issue with, sometimes because you said it, the guys don't always say what their problem is. Many guys might not have said your mouth is a problem. They might not have said that, but then when it comes too much or it comes humiliating for you guys, then that's when it's like, oh, her mouth is this and that.
But why is the mouth the problem though? Because he had to get her to go there.
Exactly.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is it always that we have to get y'all to go there? Some of y'all just are wired that way.
Nah.
Y'all just go there.
Some of them are.
Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
That shit is a 50-50.
No, that is. Some of them are already there. Some
Yes,
of them.
but going back to the fellas and that, it like give some what am I trying to say? Some highlight those points
to talk to me about it. But my thing is, like, we can have a conversation. Let's be respectful. I'm not finna come at you foul. Don't come at me foul. You know what I'm saying? But let's have a conversation. You can say what you want about me. You know what I'm saying? Let's throw all this shit on the floor. Let's pick it up and see what's real and what's not. Right? But in my last relationship, the issue with her was she was like that. So if I'm trying to tell you how it was, or now I'm telling you about yourself, oh, you saying I'm a horrible person. You doing all the same. I'm just letting you know what you're doing.
And how you making me feel.
And how you making me feel. But I can't say that because now it's an attack on you and your character.
Yeah,
That's-
that's narcissistic behavior.
That's the big
Right.
one.
And so
And that's
why
a
we
lack
do
of
it.
accountability. That's a lack of holding myself responsible for how I'm
Yeah.
making you feel. That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
narcissistic.
that's
though.
just what
They don't
Very
like.
manipulative.
Yeah,
That's
they don't like
why
to
I asked her that question. Like, if you ever
Every
been in a
time-
problem,
So
you
like,
bail
yeah,
out
every time
even
I'm
after you
telling you
come out.
something,
Oh, I'm
So it's
trying
like,
to help the
this is
bad
what
guy and all this, but you really are. Like,
But I never said that. So now
Right.
you're introducing something else into the conversation.
exactly.
No, that was
And
just
that was,
a
I
question.
did that too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would say and explain and express, and I was overly fucking expressing. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes-
And it might have been an overload, but I felt so strongly, and my love was just that deep, and I just wanted to get my point across and this, that, and I wanted you to understand where I was coming from. But it always was like, well, I guess I'm just not man enough for you. I guess I'm just
God.
I guess I'm just
Yeah.
this. I guess I'm just that.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm like,
was dealing with a
I want to
push.
be like, bitch. You know? I'm like,
What was she dealing with?
You was dealing with a pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's just a man that can't sit there and have a conversation. Because and that's something I teach my daughters is like, hey, like when you talking to a man, talk to the man in him. Don't talk to him and be disrespectful because you're gonna get a reaction. When you trying to be challenging a man like you a man, you're gonna get a manly response.
What is challenging a man?
For one, an aggression, right? When it's aggression on top of aggression, that shit is only gonna get worse. So when you get the yelling and it's like, oh motherfucker, and this and this and this, a nigga gonna be like, hold on real quick, you feel me? Like, and then now it's gonna turn totally different because it's gonna reach a level of disrespect. So now it's gonna now the whole dynamics of how I wanted to talk to you, how I wanted to approach you, all of that shit is gonna change when the disrespect comes. And that's why as we try to tell y'all sometimes, like, man, like, hey, it's not about what you say, just don't fucking yell at me, right? Don't yell at me, don't shout at me. You could cuss, do this, do that, but don't raise your octaves. Because then that shit is aggression. That's just like if me and him, we standing in here and we over there in the corner, and then next thing you know, you hear, hey, motherfucker, whoopie whoop. Next thing you know, like a punch gonna get thrown.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in a relationship between a man and a woman. Soon as you start raising your voice, it may not be a punch, but it's just gonna be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better calm your ass down. Now I get up, so now it look like I'm posing a threat to you because I stood up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I had to explain that to my daughters because they used to challenge me like, hey, you know, I tell them to do something, they be like, oh, they get smart mouth like, hey, who the fuck you talking to? I can say that sitting down, and then they still be talking shit. But when I get up, they like, oh, fuck, that done got up. So now the dynamics change because it's an aggression. And sometimes y'all gotta dial back on that shit.
And there's definitely a way to talk to you.
Yeah, you
Oh,
gotta dial back.
absolutely.
Like
I get that part. There is a way to talk to your man. Like from my perspective, I would start off super calm. I would start off,
And you gotta say
hey,
that.
blah blah blah. Well, you gotta move over because I was looking at you.
She looking at
That's
you.
right.
I'm trying to see where the camera at.
It's no back support. But no, like I would start off super calm, right? If I ever had an issue or whatever the case, or I needed to talk something out, right? And it would be calm. But the type of man that I was dealing with, it would be so like, oh, what? Like, you always got a problem, you always this, you always that. So that would make me be like, oh, well, we're turning up. I guess we gotta turn up then. Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? So it was never no regular conversation in that, you know? So how do you even deal with somebody like that? When
you
you're
said,
trying to
hold
be calm, when you're trying
Let's
to,
Shelly.
yeah, go ahead.
When you're dealing with somebody like that, I would always speak in I feel statements. Well, I feel this way. I feel
that way.
you know.
Instead of you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This makes me
feeling. That was his words. Swear to God. So it was